All right, hello, another tutorial. This is how to do double exposure. So let's share that and you can see what that one looks like. Pick up. All right, so Pinterest. So what we've got is double exposure. We have one image merging into another image. This might work for your buildings, might work for people, all kinds of other things. On my Pinterest, there are lots of other artist models. So you can see other ways of doing this. And I'll show you how to do that on Photoshop. Now, there's lots of different ways of doing it. So let's go to this one. This is me just quite literally on YouTube, Googling or YouTube search on how to do double exposure, and there's tutorial after tutorial after tutorial, nice and short ones, just doing the same thing. So how I do it is just quite literally how I do it. There may be better ways, maybe more complicated ways. Go and have a look. And you can just type in that how to do double exposure on Photoshop and you'll get lots and lots and lots of different examples. So stop sharing that one. We will come and share my one. And this is just quite literally how I do it. So of the artist models, you can see that lots of them have at least one picture which is black and white. This is because you can get away with absolute murder when you do things on black and white. If you have both being color, then you end up with lots of complications with the colors clashing. So I've got this color one color one, and one black and white one. It works out even better if both are black and white. You can see that on plenty of artist models on Pinterest. But if you want to have some color in it, then there's no problem at all having one of it in there. Right, very first thing we do, so we've got a picture, we've taken them against a white background. You can see this on your artist models. White background makes life easier, and if you have both on white background, life's even better as well. Nice little trick is if you are taking a picture of your house or something in the sky or a tree or whatever, that should be the one that you turn to black and white. This is why we turn things to black and white, because you can do the whole thing of turning it to black and white. This blue sky becomes a white sky when you play with the levels. And so that's how you end up doing those things, whether it's a building, whether it's a tree, whatever it happens to be. So you can quite literally get away with murder when you do things on black and white. So first thing, we're going to unlock this layer. We unlock it so we can mess with it. If you don't do that, then it will end up not being able to do lots of things. We end up also making new layer here. So go to the thing, new layer, grab that new layer and put it underneath. So we've got our top layer on top and our other layer underneath. We then grab our picture. You've got the select tool, second one down, select the whole thing, edit, copy. We go back to our picture here and we're pasting it onto our next layer. So edit, paste. So it's in here underneath. We can turn that one off. We can go to the resize tool, get it how we want, and all those kind of things. And then you're good to go. Where is my little thing? It's off. That's not helpful. I'll hit enter. All right, cool. So now what you've got is, I'm just going to try to get this slightly smaller so I can actually see. There you go. Hopefully that will work for you guys. So what we've got is we are trying to line these two things up. Little trick, go to your top layer, you go to opacity, you crank it down, and so you can actually see where those two things lining up. Otherwise, it's total guesswork. Now, Photoshop may or may not do this when you do it. So I'm on that layer, I'm trying to move it, but you'll probably move the top layer because it's trying to be helpful. And see, there you go, it's moving the top layer. So what you can do is go on that bottom layer and you can use your arrow keys on your keyboard and you can actually move these things around. You can still grab that corner, make it the size you want it to be, and get that how you want. All right, now on my Photoshop, there's meant to be a little tick up here that I'm meant to be able to click, but it's not there, which is not helpful. So I'm just going to hit enter on my keyboard and it goes to that side. It's meant to be a tick. I'm assuming I've got it on the wrong workspace here, but we will see. I'll try resizing again. Yeah, there we go. There's a little tick. So, so we've got all that lined up. So we're going to have this guy's a dinosaur coming out of this guy's face because that's cool. So here we go. So I'm lined it up. Go back up to the top layer, put my opacity all the way back up. So opacity is the opposite of light transparent. So now what I'm doing, working on that top layer, I am going to my eraser tool down here. I've got my eraser tool. I'm going up here and I'm getting it nice and big. It's nice and big, but also the hardness all the way down to 0, so it's nice soft edges. Opacity will automatically default to 100%, way too strong. Get it down to underneath 20%, and then what I'm doing is gently rubbing away my top layer to show the dinosaur underneath. Now, because both of these guys have white backgrounds, they both look amazing together rather than it being all this weird thing. So I'm rubbing through. If you end up getting like this, with some of those little squares coming through, that's just because it's the background under around the dinosaur. I'll show you a trick to get rid of that in a moment, but you can have this here. So it's the dinosaur coming out of this guy's face. I have some bottom teeth here. All right, cool. So if you go, look, I really hate that, it's annoying me. So you go up to here, new layer, and go, okay, grab that new layer, put it all the way underneath, and then we get our paint bucket, which is meant to be underneath here. There's a paint bucket. We make that white all the way up into here. And then I'm going to paint bucket a white layer underneath, and all those little hexagons will disappear. So there you go. That's how we do that. Nice and simple. As I said, lots and lots and lots of different ones on Photoshop. If you don't like my one and you want to do it better, or they are often a little bit more complicated, my one is just a simple, fast little way that I do it, but there's lots of different ways of doing it. Photoshop is such a big program that you can end up doing lots of different programs and lots of different techniques to get the same effect. Some are easier, mine's fast and easy, but that's, you go. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet now. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.